First of all, thanks to the mercy of God, great virtue of holy masters, teachers, kindness of transmitter, great predecessor, transmitters, lecturers, and all of you to give me this opportunity to share the answers to the truth, which holy teacher wrote it for all of us. We're going to go to page 99, question 73. What is the method of freeing oneself from shakles? Shackle means sufferings from Buddha point of view, suffering of new incarnation. So as holy teacher, I'll talk about it. This is very important, okay? To free oneself from shackles in Buddha Sutras means to untie from shackles of false image and free from suffering of three domain. What does that mean? Means Buddha talk about we need to free from shackles, free of suffering, means we need to stay away from false forms, images. Then we can free of three suffering of three domain. Three domain means the heaven of desire, heaven of images, heaven of non-images. Because human beings, we always talk about forms. We like to have wealth, power, high positions, big houses, good big cars, and good families. Those are all forms. From Buddha point of view, those stuff will not last forever. So we are over pursuing. So, and by the time we leave this world, we cannot take any one of it with us, unfortunately. Okay, so we only can take our Buddha nature and also our merits and karma with us when we leave the world. So Buddha tried to tell us away from the false forms and images. The only method of freeing oneself from suffering is that did not dwell on any images or forms is instantly enlightenment. What does that mean? Means we will not dwell on the forms. For example, let me give you an example. For example, somebody criticizes us or somebody blame on us. We get upset, angry with the person. Means we dislike the person. We don't like the person. Then we have image in our mind. In that case, we create a karma for ourselves. We create this karma for ourselves. So in that case, we cannot get instantly enlightenment. So we have to stay away from all those forms. Okay, don't take the form seriously. We need to in this class we're going to talk more what holy teacher mentioned. Holy teacher mentioned it about very critical concept. We're not going to go through so many concepts, but I want people to remember a few critical concepts holy teacher try to transfer to us. One holy teacher tried to talk about Buddhas. They stop doubts. Okay, they have a faith and confidence on the Tao, on the God. But human beings, sometimes we have a doubts. They block us from receiving the Tao, from cultivating or propagate doubts, and accumulate enough virtues or merit. Okay, that's a problem. So we need to have faith and confidence with the Tao and with God too. Okay, and we need to stay away from all the marks means forms or images. So teacher wants us to stay away from the forms, because from Buddha point of view, when we are away from the forms, that means we can become a Buddha again. Okay, and do not dwell on one's heart anymore. Okay, so that's here we're going to talk more details here. Okay, by establishing Buddha virtue, by accumulate virtues, one can free of his true self. What does that mean? To free true self means the true self is free from suffering. Okay, so we don't have to suffer anymore. So we need to build the virtues And we need to have that our true self in charge all the time, all the time. Okay. Next statement is very critical. Okay, we're going to see this in daily life. We're going to see that in daily life. If one can understand the reason of the sweetness and bitterness of things he encounters, so we face something. Sometimes it's sweet, sometimes it's bitter. Some we encounter constantly keep peacefulness, stillness, calmness in his heart. Resolve all actions in actions with his true self, with his true nature. Means whatever we face, any good, any bad things happen to us, we encounter, we face. What happened? Keep peacefulness, calmness, stillness, means in our heart to resolve it, to deal with them, to deal with them. Okay? Don't come out with our own emotions. Very, very, very critical. Don't come out with our emotions. Sometimes when something happened to us, then we have emotion coming out. Buddha, Holy Teacher talk about here is we need to constantly maintain that peacefulness, very calmness, stillness, no matter what happened to us, good and bad. Okay? We like or dislike. Do not come out with our own emotion. And then what happened? Whatever he encounters, then remain peaceful, remain calm as event pass. When things is over, he will not be far from seeing the true self. Means we could see our true self. It means our true self could almost in charge at that moment. Very, very, very critical concept here. So we need to understand that. So no matter what happened to us in our daily life, something going to be good happen to us, something going to be bad happen to us. Stay calm. Okay, stay calm, stay still. Don't lose our emotion, temper. Okay, and maintain that. Once we can maintain that constantly, then what happens? We are not too far from seeing our true self, true nature. Means we are very close to be a Buddha in a moment. We are very close to be a Buddha at that moment. So every day, maintain the calmness, peacefulness, stillness in our mind, no matter what happened to all of us. Okay? It's a very, very critical concept in our daily life. We can apply to our daily life, maintain that. Okay, sometimes we see, I used to live in New Jersey, and I went to New York City every Sunday. There are so many traffic problems there all the time. And people some people drive the car and cut in front of you. Okay, but at that moment, Holy Teacher remind ourselves that sometimes you could get upset, could get angry at that moment, but remind ourselves those people who cut in front of us, they could have emergency case. Something happened to their family or something happened to them. They need to leave immediately. They need to go immediately. So we let them go first. We let them go first, and we wish them safe to get home, to go to the place they need to go. So we have a mindset and we are very peaceful, we are very calm. Then they help us to cultivate. So every day in our daily life, we need to maintain that. Okay, Holy Teacher try to help us to let us know how to cultivate, how to apply all those principles of Tao to our daily lives. So this is one of very critical things. So when we see the things, when we face the matters, don't like or dislike. Don't like or dislike. Why? Because those like and dislike, we create our karma for the future. We don't like it, we create karma for our futures. So we don't want that. Okay? Next one, Holy Teacher said, we must know that 1,000,000 acres of land cannot belong to person forever. Why? Because when person leave the world, the name of the owner of the land is changed. So the person cannot own it forever. Okay, only short period of time. Spouse and children cannot be together forever. Yeah. So we have to understand one day we all have to leave this world. We have no choice. Okay. The wealth which need to be looked after does not last forever. The same thing. When we leave the world, everything else belongs to somebody else. Okay? So Holy Teacher try to tell us, don't take those stuff seriously. Don't over pursue them. Enough is enough. As long as we can make a living, have good life, and then can cultivate, propagate Tao to accumulate enough merits and virtues, those are more important than all this material stuff. Okay? Yeah. Yeah, this is very, very important concept. But in the daily life, we still need to have enough to make a living. But as long as we have enough, then that's all we need. Okay. The next thing the Holy Teacher talk about is very also good point here, very important point. The only thing that is everlasting is our true self given by God. The only thing that will last forever is our Buddha nature, is our true nature, which is given by the God. So everybody is the same. The true self, sometimes we call true self, true nature, Buddha nature, we call the same thing. They are the same, okay? But the God, the Buddha is a true self. True nature is the same true self as ours. The same, no different. So we are the Buddha, okay? We can do something, what last paragraph talk about it. Maintain the peacefulness, calmness, stillness all the time. No matter what happened to all of us, then what happened? We are like Buddha. We are like Buddha. We are the Buddha reborn, don't forget. But we want to become a Buddha again, okay? In one practice style, he can become a saint, okay? If he ignores his true self, he will come as a ghost. He will become a ghost. That's pretty, yeah, if he doesn't receive Tao. When we talk about he, means he and she both. Okay, here is talk about he, means he and she, the same, okay? So only things, true self, very, very critical. That's why every day we need to let our true self, true nature in charge. Don't let our 6 organs in charge, okay? Don't let our emotions, desires in charge. If one practice Tao, one can cultivate Tao, can accumulate enough merits, virtues, then he will become a saint or Buddhas. Okay, yeah, like senior gene transmitters, the wife, father, mother-in-law, they all become saints already. Okay, we have 5 saints in our temple so far. We did reunion with them, and then that's why we know them. Okay, but if one ignores his true nature, means he never pay attention to his true nature. True never in charge. What happened? He will becomes a ghost if he doesn't receive Tao. Unfortunately, human beings do not believe that until we go to underworld. Okay, we're going to talk more. Yeah, here's to be happy or unhappy or disappointing solely depends on one's own doings. Whatever we do, can be happy or unhappy in the future life. It depends on what we are doing now. So the Buddha always talk about what we are receiving today is what we have done in past lives and this life. What we will receive in the future life is what we are doing today and previous lives. Okay, so we have to, but as a cultivator, after we receive Tao, one thing is very important. We can resolve all the big karmas, any karmas in this lifetime. As long as we cultivate, we propagate Tao, accumulate enough merits and virtues, we can become a Buddha. We can get rid of all the karmas in this lifetime. No matter how much karmas we have in previous life, doesn't matter. We can resolve all in this lifetime as long as we're willing to do it. Hopefully, we have enough merit to overcome that bad karma we have done before. If one practices or cultivates Tao with sincerity or determination, it's not difficult for him to be free of suffering. Means if we cultivate with sincerity and very determined, that means what happened? We don't have to reincarnate. We can avoid the reincarnation of the cycle of birth, death, rebirth. So that's the best thing happen to all of us. But that we want all the other people also receive Tao, cultivate, propagate Tao, and create enough merits to overcome the karmas and go back with us together to the God's kingdom. Okay? We're going to talk about question 82. What is the meaning of mercifulness? Let's Holy Teacher explain very detailed. What is mercifulness? Mercifulness is like kindness, compassion, mercifulness. That's Buddha have. Okay? All of us should have that too. Okay? Those who has faith and believe in God always keep mercifulness in their heart. Okay? Have faith and confidence, believe in God, always have kindness, mercifulness, compassion in their heart. To understand the meaning of the word mercifulness, there are two attributes, means two elements. The first attribute is to suffer with human race. We're going to explain more detail. The second one is attribute to feel tragedies of mankind. What does that mean? Mercifulness is to take, when here we should only say all humans, but we should say all sentient beings, not just human beings, okay? Mercifulness is to take the sufferings of all sentient beings as our own sufferings. So when you see any sentient being is suffering as what we are suffering, it's like we are suffering too, because all the sentient beings and us are in oneness, or are together. Okay, no different. All the sentient beings are Buddha reborn too. Unfortunately, they have to pay back. We pay what they have done on the mistake they did before. So that's why they're paying. But they used to be a Buddha too, all of us. So when they are suffering, if we are a Buddha, we have mercifulness in our heart, in our mind. When sentient beings are suffering, as what we are suffering. Okay? And sentient being take the tragedies, like a disaster for the sentient being as one's own tragedies. Means when sentient being has disasters, like we have disaster too. When they are suffering, like we are suffering too. When they are happy, like we are happy too. So we are all together as one, okay? Any way of looking at mercifulness is to give joyousness and save all spirits from miseries. Means what? Try to give happiness, great happiness to all the sentient beings. Want to make all the sentient beings happy. But in the meantime, try to save all the spirits from suffering. Means that we bring them to receive Tao. We bring them to cultivate and propagate Tao with us. So we tell them how to accumulate enough merits and virtues to offset their karmas. So we try to help them. That's what called mercifulness. Okay, that's what Buddha has. Humans are Buddha before. Buddha are human. So we all know human are Buddha. Buddha are human. We are all Buddha before. Don't forget that, okay? We are all Buddha before. But mankind is drowning, is trapping in the sea of suffering. However, we are stuck there. We couldn't get out from the sea of suffering. We are in reincarnating. We couldn't get out. So the Buddha's vow is to ferry all those who are suffering to bring them back to the God's kingdom. Try to save them. So Buddha tried to save all of us, all the sentient beings, back with them. Okay? Without the mercifulness, there isn't any Buddha. So if we are the Buddha, we have the mercifulness in our heart, in our mind all the time. We have the kindness. We have the compassion. So this mercifulness, as a Buddha, no matter how people treat them, Buddha keep the same mercifulness in their heart. Even people did not treat them right, did not do it right, but Buddhas are always Buddha. They will not pay attention to if people do not treat them right, but they will maintain the pure mercifulness in their heart all the time. We should do the same thing. Every time, sometimes people might take advantage of us. People might take advantage of us. But you know what? Let it go. Let it go. We might owe them in previous life. We don't even know. Okay? Then Holy Teacher always talk about it. When people do that to us, it's also reduce our karma. It also reduce our karma. So let it go. We always like Buddha and mercifulness in our heart, in our mind. We will forgive them. Okay? What is ferry to the God's kingdom? Can it be seen? Ferry to the God's kingdom means the Dhamma boat. Okay? Ferry to the God's kingdom. Ferry to the God's kingdom refers to the Tao, the Ten Tao. Sometimes we call Tao, sometimes we call Ten Tao, the same thing. Okay? Ten Tao. Okay, Ten means heaven. It's come from heaven. Okay, Ten cannot be seen because it's like our true nature, Buddha nature. We cannot see it. It's hard to describe it, but it exists. Okay, why would it take? Okay, why do we say the ferry to the God's kingdom? Okay, it is because humans are in the seas of suffering. Holy Teacher keep remind us all the time. Humans, all of us, are in the sea of suffering. We are in the seas of reincarnation. When humans are alive, they are lost. When they die, they are tried in the underworld. What does that mean? When people are alive, they are lost. From Buddha's point of view, people are pursuing fame, power, wealth, high positions, big house, big car, with all those material stuff. And then those will not last forever. When we leave this world, those material stuff do not mean anything to all of us. Unfortunately, sometimes we over pursue, okay? We can pursue it, but to a certain degree, properly. As long as we have enough to survive, to make a living, that's enough. We don't need to over pursue. Sometimes we over pursue them. What happened? We could pay with our health. Or we could pay with something else. So it may not even worth it, okay? After they die, they are tried in the underworld. Okay, if they don't receive Tao. Okay, so people don't believe that, especially in America. We don't think we're going to go to underworld. That's how people do not think so. No, that's going to happen. In Chinese class, I was talking the scripture about the reunion from our senior gene transmitter with him and his family and his mother in 1982 and 1990 and 2013. They came to reunion. Reunion means we can bring them back, bring the spirits back through the channeling to talk to all of us. And then senior gene transmitters mother talk about what happened in the underworld, in the hell. He says too many people are suffering. Okay, they even have to open their chest to see their organs. Some people crying, but it's so sad situation there in underworld. But people do not see that. We don't see it, so people do not believe that. But until she came back to tell us what happened, she even suffered a little bit herself. So before senior gene transmitter received out. So when the people passed away without receiving doubts, means had to go report to underworld. under no choice. As soon as the children receive Tao, they do not suffer. They had to go to the place to listen to the sutras from the Buddha. They can go to the place to listen to the sutra from the Buddha. So important for the children to receive Tao. 7th generation of ancestor will benefit immediately. The day we receive Tao, 7th generation of ancestor will benefit immediately. They don't have to suffer as used to be. They don't have to suffer as used to be. So how critical is for the person to receive Tao? 7th generation of ancestor will benefit immediately. That's why senior gene transmitter's mother came to tell us that. Yeah. So I remember the first time senior gene transmitter reunion with his mother, 51 years later, after they they are departed from each other, 51 years later. So, but she said, as soon as senior gene transmitter received Tao, then suddenly she didn't have to suffer. She can go to the place to listen to the sutra from the Buddhas. So that's what we want everybody to receive Tao. Very, very critical. Okay. But human die, they will be tried in underworld based on their karma and merits. Hopefully, our merits are enough to cover our karma. Then, what happened? They have to pay back all the debts they owe in previous life. Then they will take one of the 6 paths of reincarnation of birth, death, and rebirth. So everybody had to go through this step. Everybody, no choice. Okay, that's what Buddha talking about. People may not believe that, but until they go there, they will find out that's true. Okay, so that's very important. Here's teacher also talk about it. Whatever the seeds we planted, whatever the consequence we will receive. Okay, that's called the law of karma. No surprise. Okay, but all the sentient beings, what happened? Sentient beings, they cannot find a way to escape and suffer through the cycle of the birth and death and rebirth in great pain. That's why in the underworld, they have to suffer in a great pain. Okay? That's why Buddha always, what holy teacher and Buddha always talk about. In the heaven, in the absolute heaven, even temporary heaven, all the saints and Buddha, they can see everything. They know that. In the underworld, all the ghosts, they are suffering. So they know how painful they are. Only human being, and in this universe, in this world, people do not see that. So they do not believe that. They do not know how painful it is in the underworld. Okay? When we ask people to receive Tao, unfortunately, some people are not mature. The affinities are not mature enough to receive Tao. So we have to wait for their opportunities. But Holy Teacher mentioned here is all these sentient beings who cannot find a way to escape, to get out from this reincarnation. Okay. One time, Holy Teacher we had a temple host and lecture class in New York City. And then Holy Teacher talked about it. Holy Teacher pointed to the outside building in the New York City building. Holy Teacher said, no matter how high the position you are on your job, no matter how high, how wealth you have with the building, all the stuff you have, if you still have the physical body to reincarnate in this life, in this world, you have nothing to be proud of because we are still in reincarnation. So, at that moment, I was shocked. The Holy Teacher said, no matter what we have, what we own, if we still have a physical body, we still reincarnate. We have nothing to be proud of. Okay, so from Buddha and God point of view, all of us, all the sentient beings are in reincarnation. Means we cannot escape the life of the birth, death, and rebirth. We couldn't get out from these cycles. So unfortunately, to receive Tao, to cultivate, accumulate enough merits and virtues, we can get out from these cycles of reincarnation. So that's probably the most precious things we have faced, we have met in this lifetime. I can tell you, we are, Holy Teacher always mentioned to us, we are the most fortunate people in this whole world. We are the most fortunate people in this whole world. It's not we, yeah. One time, people, the Holy Teacher asked us in the Dharma class in Taiwan. Teacher said, "Are you rich?" Nobody has answered. So people said, "Are you rich?" Nobody answered. Teacher said, "Okay, how about that? I pay me $1 million if you are willing to give us your right hand to me." People say no. Holy Teacher said, "I give you $1 million. You don't want to give me your right hand." And teacher said, "How about this way? I give you $2 million. You give me two hands." People say no. And Holy Teacher said, "How about I give you $10 million? Give me your 2 feet, 2 legs." People said, "Just give me." Holy Teacher said, "How about $10 million? Give me 1 leg." And we say no. And teacher said, "At least you got $22 million on your hands. You are rich people." So sometimes we don't see the valuable in ourselves. And we even have Buddha nature in ourselves. We don't even know how rich we are. Buddha nature has everything. Okay, Buddha nature has everything. We just don't know how lucky, how fortunate we are, how rich we are. Okay, don't look at just material world. Don't look at just material stuff. Okay, that stuff will not last forever. Only our true self, Buddha nature, will last forever. Okay, remember that, please. So once those people, those sentient beings cannot get out from the cycle, that's Holy Teacher said, is the seed of suffering. So Buddha always say we are suffering there, unfortunately. Okay. Next paragraph we talk about. However, if the person becomes a practitioner as a cultivator of Tao, he treats the physical world or the material stuff as imaginary flowers, fame and wealth as a dream. Okay, so that's what Holy Teacher talk about this one. If we know all the physical stuff, material stuff, fame, power will not last forever. Will be gone one day. Will be gone one day. As soon as we leave this world, they don't belong to us. Okay, those don't not belong to us. And in old days, they treat wife, children as an emotional burden. Why? That's why all these patriarchs, they want to cultivate. They always leave their family. They went to remote mountain to cultivate, to be alone to cultivate. Fortunately, we are very lucky and fortunate today. We do not need to leave families. We do not need to leave our loved ones. We can stay with them and to cultivate and propagate down. So we are very fortunate and in this lifetime. But Buddha here talk about, don't let our wife, children, family become our emotional burden. We still need to cultivate. Okay, sometimes people say, "Oh, I'm too busy. Where can I go?" Because many reasons. No, don't let them become our reasons and a burden. We need to continue to cultivate. Okay. Teacher also talk about once he understands all matters and facts and all the events, all the things cannot endure, means cannot last, will not be there forever. So as soon as all those material stuff is gone, upon their destruction, then what happened? Their existence become means zero, become nothing. So all this material stuff, events, matters, everything will be gone one day. You look at a big building. For them, we take a very simple example. Look at a big building today. It might last 80 years, 100 years. 100 years, people knock them down. It's over. Look at a tree. Look at anything. Like our physical body. It might last 100, 120 years. Then it will be gone. So teacher, Buddha tried to tell us all those material stuff, even include our physical body, will not last forever. Will not last forever. We have to understand that. Don't over pursue those stuff, okay? The true existence is in the true void. The true void is eternal, will last forever. True void is absolute heaven, is Tao. In ourselves, we call Buddha nature or true self, true nature. The true nature is eternal, will last forever. Okay? So that's why one day we have to leave this world. But our true nature will not die. Our spirits will not die. Okay? It will go to someplace else. So he has no struggle or obstacles in his way. So once we know all this philosophy, we know we can do it. Don't take material stuff too seriously. Okay? Don't too attached to those stuff. Then we have no struggle, no obstacle in the way. Isn't this the same as he has boarded the ferry to God's kingdom? Means he can has a Dhamma boat to go to the God's kingdom, to the absolute heaven, right? So that's Holy Teacher tried to tell us a lot of details in the life. Sometimes we over pursue a lot of stuff, which is may not even worse. When we are not around, we look back, say, no, we should not have done that. Here, I want to talk about only one main point here. Okay. There are many religions now, but are they all ferry to God's kingdom? Are they all go to God's kingdom? Are they all Dhamma boat to go to God's kingdom? Okay. They think they are, but Holy Teacher said that. Who find the right door, right path, right Dhamma boat becomes Buddha. Who ride on the right door or right path become a Buddha. And he who cannot find the right door or right path end up with worries. What does worries mean here? Means continue to suffer, continue in the reincarnation, continue in the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. So we cannot get out from the reincarnation. So we need to find the right door, right path to go back, to receive Tao, to cultivate, propagate Tao, to accumulate enough merits and virtues. That's the right door. Okay? So all of us, we are very fortunate, lucky. We need to bring more people, our relatives, our loved ones, our colleagues, whoever have affinity with Buddha to receive Tao, to cultivate, propagate Tao with all of us. So we can go back all together. However, this all depends on each individual's wisdom and faith. So unfortunately, not everybody can receive Tao today. Holy Teacher always said, Buddha said the same thing. Unless the person has cultivated more than 3 lifetimes, otherwise the person has no chance to receive Tao. Unless the person has cultivated more than 3 lifetimes, the person will not have a chance to receive Tao. Unless the person has cultivated 5 lifetimes, yes, the person has no chance to attend Dhamma classes. Okay, so we do not come here by accident. We have cultivated so many lifetimes to get here, to wait for this moment. So even all of us in the class today, we are listening to the class. It's just not our mind, brain listen to the class. Our Buddha nature, our true self are listening to. Our ancestors, our creditors, who we owe them in previous life, are here too. So they are all here to listen to the class. If we don't come to the class, they cannot come. If we don't come to the class, they cannot come. Our ancestors, they are all here with us. 7 generations, if they are still here, still around, 7 generation ancestors will come to the class if we are attend the classes. Okay, not just Dhamma class, these kind of classes too. But if we don't come, they cannot come. Okay. But one thing here, Holy Teacher said, make sure we find the right door, right path to have a chance to become a Buddha again, to go back. Yeah, sometimes everybody say they are in the right path, right religion, right place. But unfortunately, Buddha said, no, that's not true. But we cannot deny people, okay? We only can wish them well, okay? Here we talk about what is the wise man. Holy Teacher say, what is wise man? Sometimes we say, oh, you are very smart, but that's not good enough. What is wise man? Okay? We want to be a wise man, okay? Buddha always talk about wise, not talk about smart, okay? The word of wisdom means understanding the truth. Here is very, very important. Holy Teacher talk about the concept. Okay, only the wise knows to practice Tao. Only the wise people know to practice Tao, to cultivate, to propagate Tao. Hey, are we the wise people? To learn the teaching of the saints, to learn the teaching of Buddha. All the stuff we are talking today is come from the teaching, okay? So we learn the teaching from the Buddha. Those are the scripture from the Buddha. To find the enlightened teachers with mandate. Tianming means mandate. Mandate is from the God, okay? So we are very fortunate. We have find the enlightened master to open our gate and to receive three treasures. So the wise people will do that. Okay. And then next one, after we receive that, what happened? We need to perform the good deeds, do the good things to benefit the sentient being, and to repent his sins or mistakes he made in previous life and this lifetime. We don't know how many sins or mistakes we have done in last 60,000 years. And now when Holy Teacher and Buddha told us we have reincarnated 60,000 years, I said, you are kidding. 60,000 years. Yes, we have reincarnated 60,000 years. So you can imagine how many mistakes and sins we have made already. We don't even know how much, okay? But the wise people will practice Tao. In old days, the wise people had to do, all these patriarchs had to do what? They had to be away from the society in the situation of being alone in a remote place so they can cultivate and concentrate on cultivation. But today, we are living in a society and family to cultivate. So we are very fortunate and lucky in this moment. Old days, no. If we talk about more than 100 years ago, no chance. This Tao is only available a little bit more than 100 years. But we don't know how long the Tao will be available for all of us. We don't know. Okay, God will make the decision. Okay, all days only Tao is available only one to the other person, only patriarch to next patriarch, not to widely spread it to all the living beings. Now, and then the wise person will to understand the law of karma, the existence of the cycle and birth and death. So the wise person will understand the law of karma and existence of cycle and birth and death and rebirth. Do you believe karma, the law of karma? Not everybody, unfortunately. One time I was on the airplane. I remember from USA to New York to the Taiwan. I met one guy on the plane. The guy next to me, he is from one of the countries, and he told me he doesn't believe. He said this life is his last life. He did not believe the next life. He did not believe human beings will have next life. Okay. So some people don't believe that, and it depends on individual. But what happened? Just look around. If we don't believe there's next life, what happened? All the children are keep reborning. We keep the new children are reborn. Why? It's their next life coming. So it's very simple logic thinking. Okay. Some people do not believe next life. Okay. So wise people will understand the law of karma. Once they understand the law of karma, and they know the existence of reincarnation, the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. And then what happened? Once the wise person knows the law of karma, and he knows the reincarnation, what will he do? The wise person will repent. Wise person will repent all the mistakes and sins he has made in previous life and this life, and practice Tao as soon as he learns about karma. Practice Tao as soon as he learns karma. If we are the wise, if we are have wisdom, once we know the karma, we will cultivate, we will propagate Tao immediately. We will not hesitate. We will not hesitate. Buddha always talk about, Holy Teacher mentioned so many times. There's one thing very fair. The karma, the law of karma. Whatever we plan it, we're going to get it. Sometimes we see, okay, how come this person is so rich and the other person is so poor, even don't have a food to eat? Why? Sometimes we say, why? But Buddha said, Holy Teacher said, because it depends on what we have done in previous lives. So we always say, what we are receiving this lifetime is what we have done in previous life. What we will receive in future lives is what we have done in previous life and this lifetime. What we will receive in the future life is what we have done in previous life and this lifetime. Okay? So we need to continue. But with all of us, for all of us, because we have received Tao, we can resolve all the bad karma, pay back all the bad karmas, and accumulate enough merits and virtues, we can go back to our home, where we came from originally in this lifetime. Only this chance. If we don't do that, we wait for next lifetime, we don't know. Holy Teacher mentioned that one thing during the Dhamma class. When I heard that, it's very sad. Holy Teacher said, if we were reborn in next life, Holy Teacher may not be there with all of us. Tao may not be available for all of us if we reborn in next lifetime. We don't know. Okay? Teacher said he may not be there with us. Tao may not be available for all of us if we reborn next lifetime. And enlightened masters may not be there for us. So we need to make sure we cultivate, propagate the Tao, accumulate enough merits and virtues to go back in this lifetime. Don't wait for next lifetime, okay? And then a wise man, what will a wise man do once he knows the karma? He will correct all his bad habits and temper. He will correct. So those are the stuff we should do after we know the karma. We know the law of karma. You know what we do? We will correct our bad habit, bad temper. We will perform good deeds to benefit sentient beings. We speak only of the truth. We will speak only the truth, only of the truth. We'll practice only Tao. We'll be honest. We'll have an everlasting, we'll have a good reputation when we leave this world. So that's what Holy Teacher wants us to do. Once we know the law of karma, we need to do all this stuff. Get rid of all bad temper, habit, perform good deeds. Okay? Practice Tao, speak the truth, and then spread the Tao. And every day we need to have very pure, positive thoughts. Every moment, we need to have a pure righteousness thought. Means pure, positive thought. Means no thought. The bad thing is no thought. Okay? Only let Buddha, true nature or Buddha nature in charge. Okay? And be honest. Okay? In brief, the wise dedicate to spreading benevolence, justice, virtuous Tao. Means the wise people will dedicate themselves to spread the kindness. Benevolence is like what Buddha will do, okay? Kind to people, spreading the kindness, justice, virtuous, and bring the Tao, introduce Tao to all the people who has affinity with Buddhas. Once he attend Tao, when he receive Tao, he will help others to cultivate their virtues and attend Tao. So once we receive Tao, we will help others to receive Tao, help them to cultivate and propagate Tao to accumulate enough virtues with all of us. That's why we are the wise men, okay? Hoping everyone can become a sage of Buddha and return to God's kingdom. So the wise men will do all those stuff. Okay, so all those stuff outside when the lecturer send us the material, take a page, take a pictures. All those information remind ourselves in daily basis. We can perform a good deed, get rid of all the bad habit, bad temper, and then speak only the truth. Only think about only the pure, positive, righteous thought, and be honest with every day, okay? Every day. That's very critical and important for all of us. So it's wise person. Let's talk about what is a lost person. Okay, what is lost person? A lost person who means one is confused, is not right. Confused. He doesn't know where he's going in his. He doesn't know his true nature is not right. He doesn't know the true meaning of life. Those person addicted to the material world, enjoying the materialism. So the lost person, what happened? Means strongly attached to the material stuff and enjoy the materialism. The person wants to possess, want to have all the material stuff. And he spoils, the holy teacher tried to mention to us, don't be the lost person. He spoils his sensual organs and indulge in sights, smell, sounds, taste, feeling, and thought. He let the 6 organs in charge. He let the 6 organs in charge. He didn't let his Buddha nature in charge. He practiced Hinduism and fall into evils. So that teacher tried he practiced what? To pursue all the pleasures and fall into evils. So they're very dangerous. Then he's looking, all he's looking for after is current enjoyment. He want to have good time now, only the right moment, enjoy every moment. Okay, he ignored the suffering he will face after death. He ignored the suffering he will face, he will meet after death. People don't think about it. They don't say, who cares about future? We only enjoy this one moment. So gotta be careful there. Because this lifetime, we only 120 years. But the province could be 1,000, 10,000, 100,000 years after that. We have to suffer to pay back. So people do not know that. We only see this lifetime. We do not see the future lives. He is lost in the process of seeking after the short and temporary. What does that mean? Teacher tried to tell us this lifetime, for the moment, is very short and only temporary. Will not be there forever, only short and temporary. So we need to know, we need to cherish the moment to receive Tao, cultivate and propagate Tao, and then bring those Tao to the people who has affinity with Tao. So don't waste these opportunities. By abandoning his conscience, he joined the materialism. Even the saints and sages cannot save him. So if he give up his conscience, means everything what he is doing against his conscience. What happened? He only joined materialism, means he want to possess, he want to have all the material positions. He want to have fame, power, wealth, all the material stuff, and over pursuing. What happened? Even saints and sages or Buddha cannot save him, unfortunately. Unfortunately, saint and Buddha cannot save him. Therefore, he lost his true nature, and he's trapped in the seas of suffering forever. His Buddha nature are not always in charge. Then what happened? He will keep suffering forever. Unfortunately, that's what happened. Once he entered the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth, he cannot recover from numerous mysteries. That's a lost person. Means once he entered the cycle of reincarnation, it's hard to get out from there. So he's going to continue to suffer for many, many, many lives to come. Okay. So today we talk about it, how to free from ourselves from shakles. Means we have to get away from the forms. Okay. And then whatever we face today, good, bad, we like, dislike, don't stay our calmness, peacefulness, stillness. Don't come out with our emotion to deal with them. If we can continue use our Buddha nature in charge, we are not too far from Buddha. Okay? Then all the material stuff will not last forever. The only thing that is lasting forever is our Buddha nature. So we need to let our Buddha nature in charge all the time. Okay. In the meantime, we don't want to be a lost person. We try to we don't want to strongly attach to the material stuff and then enjoy materialism only. Okay, we can pursue properly, but don't over pursue. Okay, so that's very important. And then this lifetime is only very short and temporary. So we need to receive down, bring it down to our friends, relatives, colleagues, families, and all the people who has affinity with Buddha to receive down, could cultivate with all of us, so we can go back together. So in the meantime, we need to let Buddha nature in charge, true self in charge every moment. Every moment. We don't want to reincarnate in the cycle of reincarnation continuously. So I'm going to stop here. Thank you, everybody. If I say something improperly, I ask forgiveness from the God, Buddha, transmitters, and all of you to give me advices. Thank you.